Welcome to part 5 of the coming Juggernaut, Reckoning. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, gentlemen. Hammerhand, the MGTOW monk, back at you. One more again. Yo, man. Yo. So, the reckoning. What does the reckoning look like? What does it mean? What is it going to hold for people? Well, you have to realize, well, you don't have to, but you should. You should realize that in every revolution type scenario, every evolution type scenario, which is what we're looking at, and every de-evolution type scenario, there are only a few people on the vanguard of those movements of people and ideologies. The reckoning that is coming is the understanding that gynocentrism, rampant gynocentrism, and by proxy feminism, has pushed, wow, a rollover accident there. It's been taken care of, but there's a lot of accidents here lately. That rampant gynocentrism and rampant feminism has pushed our societies into a chasm. And then they dumped gasoline on it and set the population on fire. And I don't think that really bothers a lot of these people. They're still not looking and seeing clearly. They see identifiers, they see whataboutisms, they see all kinds of shit, but they don't understand what's happening at the pointy end of the cultural vanguard. Get past this no muffler having motherfucker right here, and maybe we can finish this. The pointy end of the cultural vanguard is the resistance to gynocentrism. The resistance, not passive, very active resistance to feminism. And I know that folks are going to say, man, don't you think that there's a lot more important things going on in the world right now? Don't you think that this is one of those things that can kind of just be put on the back burner and you can kind of tend to it later? No. I think that folks that assume that sexual politics and gender dynamics are not important are people that do not understand. They don't have their finger on the pulse. Sexual politics and gender dynamics, the dynamic between a man and a woman, are the only politics that matter. Everything else is manipulation, coercion, or tyranny. Men and women make future men and women. Now, it's debatable about the passing on of the legacy or the line. I think that that's ego and pride that speak when folks utter those words. And I think that for men out there that talk to themselves and talk to others about, I've gone red pill, I've gone MGTOW or monk, and I miss not having a family, and I miss the idea of not passing on my legacy. Or you will hear somebody say, only the fittest DNA goes forward. You're a genetic dead end. Good on you. And they attempt to shame you and emasculate you while you are attempting to free yourself. What else would you expect them to do? You see, they have a real, proper, true understanding of what's going on, and that is that they are being starved out. Plain and simple. They're being starved out. Excuse me, gents, while I navigate through some of this gnarly traffic over here. People are driving a little bit dumber than usual today in good old Louisville, Kentucky. Get this squared away real quick and get in line, and then I'll continue. Or I might just cut this piece out. Hell, I don't know. Right now I'm just talking to a camera, not an audience. There we go. The realization, the reckoning of what is happening now is not going to be had for a few years by mainstream normies. And that's entirely due to the fact that your media will refuse any knowledge of it. They will not talk about it. They will not discuss it unless it comes in the form of shaming, and that shaming is directed at men. Why aren't you getting married? Oh man, birth rates are falling through the floor. Oh man, we can't sell Pampers. Oh man, the De Beers company is closing thousands of stores, losing billions of dollars because they can't sell a shiny piece of carbon that was compressed over thousands, perhaps millions of years. It's bizarre how people think about things, but it's not bizarre if you add context to it. And the context is that you've been brainwashed, and that there was a whole lot of people out there helping to secure that false reality for you. Most people live in a false reality, and that's where the reckoning is going to come. The reckoning will happen en masse at some point in time, but individually the reckoning is happening every second of every day, everywhere. Somebody wakes up. Mostly it's men. It's mostly people that are being oppressed, as you can tell. The narrative outside is, well, women are oppressed, minorities are oppressed, all of these other people except whites are oppressed. And people go with it because everybody needs a boogeyman. Because if you have a boogeyman, it makes it very easy for you not to stand on your own 2 feet and accept responsibility for your failings in life. And let's be real, failings are a very subjective thing. Very subjective. Very subjective. For me to say that anybody has failed at life, hell, I don't say that anymore. I used to. I'd look at somebody standing on the street corner and be like, oh, what a fucking loser. You know, today I still have my feelings on that. It makes me feel a certain way. But I understand it because I understand how crushing it is to try to get out from alcohol addiction or drug addiction. I understand how crushing it is to open your eyes to the cultural zeitgeist. I understand those things. And I'm lucky in a sense because my brother and I, there was a time where I never thought I'd say this, we were beaten and brutalized so badly when we were kids that it put us in a position of understanding that very early on. Now, I wouldn't wish it on anyone, and I wouldn't suggest that it's a good way to go. You can learn the same lessons by being talked to in a rational, calm, discreet, calculated, intelligent manner. Did I put enough in there for you? Folks, the reckoning that's coming is going to be the hollowing out and the bottoming out of the welfare state. When the welfare state collapses, Make no mistake about it now. It has already collapsed, but they're still feeding the beast. They are still feeding it because they know that the monster that they have created with the welfare state, if they don't satiate it, they're in a lot of trouble. These riots, these riots that you see out here, this is calculated and organized. These riots that you see out here will be nothing compared to the millions of people that are out here spasming about not getting their welfare check when that day comes. You better be well armed, and you better understand that is going to be the downfall of Western society. Now, yes, we have big fucking problems with feminism, with the gynocentric nature of Western society. Big problems. But there's nothing that's going to bring about the end of Western civilization faster than the collapse of the welfare state. And I think that these people do recognize that the collapse of the welfare state has already happened. That's why they're borrowing money from other countries to fund this. It's inconceivable to me that we are borrowing money from other countries to fund this. It's unreal. It's unreal. Unbelievable. Get stocked up on your food. Get at least a year's worth of dry food reserves. At least a year. That can be accomplished for $400 or $500. If you have the ability and are in good legal standing, get firearms and make sure that you get at least 100 rounds of ammo. You need at least 100 rounds. At least. Take care of yourselves out there. You're going to need it. I'm not trying to be a doomsayer or a doomcaster. I'm not doing that at all. I would love to live out the rest of my life in relative peace and do the things that I want to do. And I'm going to do as much as I can do, all the way up until the point where I can't. And then I shift into another mode. And that's self-preservation. The reckoning that is coming for these people, the reckoning that is coming is also going to be based in other people's desire to preserve their life. All that generosity, all that fake-ass money and donations that are going to everybody out there, that shit's going to dry up faster than you can snap your fingers. It'll be gone. Overnight. Cheers. That's going to be gone very, very quickly. I'd like to turn the blinker off, but I can't. Sorry about the noise. The reckoning that's coming to folks out here is something that I mentioned in the last video or a couple of videos before that, I can't recall, is going to be the exposure of the House of Cards. That will be the next video. The House of Cards. Gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful day. Please keep your head on a swivel. Remind yourselves daily that life is good. Every moment above dirt is a good moment. Don't disappoint yourselves. Get outside. Inhale some fresh air. You see the trouble, the shit that our brothers go through. SCE, Vention, they're just two examples of many. They're out there getting their fucking guts cut out, getting their rib cages torn open. And they're up, they're walking, they're tough fucking bastards, and they're doing the thing. That's the definition of MGTOW. They are living, breathing examples of that. And they aspire to be more. And it inspires me. Whenever I think that I've got it rough or tough, or I get down a little bit, I look at a goddamn wound that goes from my neck to my belly button, and I realize that it's not so bad. On myself, I look at the 8 wounds in the open muscular cavity that I still have from a botched operation. And it could be worse, right? It could be. Get your butts out there, do the right thing, enjoy your life, stay MGTOW.